just want to say thank you to the amazing community we have. We have made a channel for like game dev discussion, and they've been absolutely amazing, helping us decide how we should kind of move forward with things. Apart from that, not much more.
Sweet. I also want to say some of the team. One of them's pretty sick. I'm just recovering. I'll probably hear it in my voice, but another guy, it's his birthday today. So he's actually the thing. His girlfriend surprised him with it. So yeah, we're sorry we couldn't all be here, but we still thought it was important to just get going ASAP and just like get you guys engaging with us, and us sort of nailing the future together. So that's why we didn't want to push it back or anything like that. So yeah. Okay. So shall we? I mean, I've got a few questions here that I've just been sent by one of the team. Will NFT special ability come to be important in picking a team for gameplay? People have asked potentially about community. People have suggested maybe they want, or some people have suggested want the game. So I suppose before we get into the game, which we should at least kind of, you guys will just welcome, open the floor to any questions or any suggestions from other members. Maybe that might be good before we actually get into the game, because if all the holders are saying don't do a game, then maybe we'll have to have a vote and think about other things. So yeah, what Exo, what do you say on that?
Yep. So yeah, obviously we put everything to a community vote. You guys, we listen to you. Whatever you guys want to do, we will kind of take that approach. So yeah, a lot of people have said, maybe we do things differently. We do something between. We don't do a game. We change up our kind of roadmap. But we wanted to kind of wait till today to get a more generic view of what everyone thinks. I think that'll be very useful. So if you want, should we start taking questions? I can get.
Yeah, and I apologize in advance. I think my connection's a bit shitty, so I'm sorry about that. I'll try and move to get in a better spot. But yeah, let's do some questions.
Yep. So if you guys want to ask a question, please just raise your hand, and I will get you guys moved in. So the first question comes from Python. So I will just add you to the call. So if you want to ask a question, bud.
Hello, Python.
I think he's not. He did ask pretty early, so I'm assuming
he's gone.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll move on to the next one.
He's gone shy.
By
right.
Vin, sorry.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Hello, mate.
Oh, hey. So my question, I guess, is twofold. So when I bought into the project, I assumed, I thought it was a game, right? So based on what you just said about taking opinions from us here, are we saying that it's not, the decision hasn't been made that this is definitely a game? Is that the current situation we're in?
No, I mean, so the thing is, we already started with some game devs. There was a bit of a sort of how I would phrase it as a cock up. There was a bit of a cock up on the part of the game devs, and they blamed that on an artist that they commissioned. But we understood we were commissioning, completely new artwork as representatives of how we viewed the game. And they sort of just did some sort of mock-up. So we were not very happy with them on that one, because obviously, it wasn't, that wasn't the best thing. And I sort of flagged at the start before when I first saw them, I said, are these what we ordered? We asked for, like completely new. And they sent me some, like, they said that the artist sent them some sketches. So this artist was a bit of a shit. So, aside from that, like we have done some work with them, and we have started the game with them, and we really do see this being really quite powerful as a sort of sort of Axie kind of vibe, but obviously within our super cool, really kind of like quite interesting cyberpunk world. So that is, unless there's an overwhelming holders that don't want that is what we'd like to deliver to you guys. I think the other thing is people asking for something else in the meantime, to maybe comics or something like that, and I think that could be really cool. And we have artists on our team, and through connections, that would probably love to get their hands into a comic. So maybe we could have a lore competition based on these really cool generated bios that you all have. And and we've had people reach out to us separately and ask what the kind of IP rights are on their NFTs, because they really want to work with what they've got and create a whole story. And we've said obviously that you guys own the rights. That's not that's not up for debate. You guys own the rights, so you bought and you own the rights to your NFT, and you can use it commercially, creatively, however you want. But maybe that might be really cool if we kind of had a lore comp and then commissioned a based on the coolest plural, just to get people hyped and involved in the community, as what. And we've had other people come to us and suggest game developers, so we are developers as well. Obviously, we'd want them to take by the first company with this slight sort of trickiness, because we believe in paying artists well, and we people well on the project. So we did pay them well these screens, and they sort of screwed us, and it just looked sort of bad for the community. Although they were just mock-ups, that's what they said to us, and they blamed it on not understanding. But I wasn't particularly happy about that, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a big trust flaw. So
Yeah.
second question then is, obviously you guys being the team, where do you see this 2 years? Is this a long-term gaming project? And if so, I guess the second part to that question is, do you guys have a reputable studio that have experience developing games to help build that game?
Yeah, so we see this sort of a two-phase thing, and that's I think that's why 2 screens commissioned. We see it first as a sort of fight room style Axie Infinity vibe sort of thing, but we just feel like more can be done with that whole just with that genre, and we can open it out into a sort of slightly open world sort of thing where people can go and interact and then fight randomly, or even in groups. So we'd see it as sort of different phases of the game, and that would allow us to deliver something to you, the more general gaming community sooner. In 2 years, I'd hope that we'd got through more than one phase. I think we'd really like to get our holders to play. Obviously, there's always an issue with. I'd rather these guys or I say a couple of months. I think would be pushing for at least so you guys can fight your own.
So you say a couple months we'll have that first phase, you mean?
Axie Infinity, they are under the pile. That's what I will be asking any game dev, and that's what I've been saying to the game devs that we've been working with, and they said that is doable.
Nice.
But as far as me, I don't want to give you guys be in 3 months, because ultimately the quality as well, and just so as out show. So
yeah,
and make sure that if we we move on to a different game, we want to make sure that everything that we put our name on. Yeah.
What I will say, guys,
your question.
is yeah, it does. And what I will say finally is, you guys have got some of the best artwork in the NFT space. I think that's my opinion, and I seriously think that the Shadowrun direction as like the end goal would be amazing, especially if you can get there first, because the world needs more of those games.
Yeah, for sure. With me as well, with tokenomics, style of things that well with, I think it would be really good. Because let's face it, I mean, who knows what's going to happen to the wider market or to NFTs? NFT gaming itself is here to stay bigger. So that's what we,
especially
and that has been our vision for this whole project thing. That
especially if there's a
and just got people interested.
Yeah,
exactly. No. Oh, 100%. Like, I think really fucking cool that games like Axie, in sort of more than they would, and just so cool about just what crypto and gaming can do. So that, and I'd love this project to be a part.
Sorry, just need to butt in. Your connection's really dropping in and out. I think people are struggling to hear you.
Shit.
Yeah, it's really dropping in and out now.
Sorry, guys. Let me. Shit. Okay, let me disconnect and let's get another question asked, and then I will try and reconnect. How about that? I'll move right next to the internet box as well. Sorry, it's been a pain all week. One sec, guys. Yeah.
So I'll just take the next question from Black Cat Messiah. I've just invited you to speak, bud, if you want to ask a question. Okay, I'll invite Kuba. Hi, bud. Have you got a question to ask?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. I just want to say that you, EXO, you're the one that's always in front of this, and to be honest, the other team members are not around the scene as much as you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of concerning for us, as I see myself as an investor in this.
Yep.
In this project, so it would be good for all of us if the team is around much more. Plus, there is a lot of engagement with the community, because I've seen NFTs that go like there are free mints and the floor price is double this one. But because of the community that's happening around it.
So sorry, I'll let you finish.
If you want this project to succeed, you should stick with your promises, because when I bought and minted, I thought the roadmap was clear, the game was ready, there's already a beta. But after we all minted, there was an AMA, and then we got surprised that you guys didn't even start with the game. I'm sure there are a lot of people in here.
Okay, so on that, so on the roadmap, we've never stated ever that the beta or anything was ready. We've said the game has been in development, and I can show you screenshots and proof of that since the past. We've never once said the beta was ready, unfortunately, and I apologize if it was misleading. For first regarding the engagement, yes, I will relay that back to the team. For them to be more active. Unfortunately, I haven't been for the past day or two. I have a family issue going on at the moment, but we will. I will make sure we relay that we relay that to the team, and we are engaging with the community more. Of course, I think it's very important. You are right. I think he's just joined back actually.
I've just joined back. Yeah, what did I miss?
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I hope this is better as well.
It's a little bit better, yeah. So Kuba's question basically was so he didn't see much engagement from the team other than myself. So he was saying, maybe you guys should be more active in the chat, but also, that when the project first started, they were under the impression that the beta already existed, and the game was, coming along, which I did reply to. We've never said once the beta is actually out.
No, but I mean, the beta's never been out. No, but we've been working on. We've actually started work, and we actually, invested our own cash into getting the game developers started on this before we'd even sold out. So, obviously these things take months to develop. So we've we did start the ball rolling on that, but we never said that a beta was ready. So I'm sorry, I don't know where you got that from.
It wasn't stated clearly in the roadmap. So when I came, at least that is what I understood. And just to state it out loud, there are a lot of people in your community that are new to NFTs.
Sure.
And I'm sure they are not happy about the situation that's happening right now.
When you say what do you mean by the situation?
The floor price, the engagement, the marketing, other projects, we see them around social media much more than Dark Horizon.
We are, we are as unhappy with the floor price as you guys are. We had some issues with OpenSea, as that were they were glitching out and not showing the stats on the first day, and we think that was quite costly. And we were chasing OpenSea every couple of minutes, but they don't work on Sundays, to quote them. So that sort of it's kind of amazing the amount of traffic they process and the fact that they don't want to do any work for one day of the week. So we think that really dented confidence with people on secondary sales, which didn't get our floor price up. We've had good volume. We have a great number of kind of unique holders, which is a really good sign, a good kind of healthy sign. But obviously the floor price is not up there. So we have been trying to engage with influencers. We have a marketing team on this, and that's that. I mean, obviously that still doesn't solve the floor price, but we could spend all the community wallet and all the dev wallet on sweeping the floor, and that would just be an artificial pump. So kind of, I mean, again, it's up to the community, but we'd rather develop something that had fundamentals like a game that would get people excited and spread the word more organically. But yeah, if I think potentially a balance can be struck between the two, and we can work on trying to get the floor price up in the short term, and also working on something more long term as well. I don't know. If you're new to the NFT space, or if you have other experience and you'd like to come and join on the team and to help us with that, then we'd be more than welcome to bring extra talent on board to help us realize this vision.
I wish I had the talent to help you guys, but I don't, sadly. But
Sure.
As I said to EXO, we are all investors in this project. So I know some of the questions that might come up might sound harsh or rude, but
no.
to take it in.
Yeah. No, we understand. We understand the floor price has not done what we expected. There are projects that have spent a lot less time on their artwork, and that in our opinion have a less strong community. We have such a great Discord, and it's always popping, and you guys are really loyal to us. So we just genuinely don't understand why people were selling at a loss so quickly at the start. We just it was a surprise to us. But sometimes, you know, a launch, you know, can be, you know, a bad launch can be really costly, and we have to, you know, we have to accept that and move on and find a way to get this project going again. And we reach out to people on Twitter for marketing things, you know, on a daily basis and everything like that. So we are trying to get engagement, but you know, we have a strong Discord, so I think we need to work on our Discord and work on growing that even more and making it, you know, like Lazy Lions, they have an amazing Discord and really strong community. So I think we need to, you know, we need to focus on our community and growing that more and spreading the message more, and and deciding collectively what, if we want to continue on with designing this game, which I'd love to do, or if we want to go in another direction with this. But yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
all. Yep. Thank you.
Cool.
No worries. Cheers for the question. Just to reiterate on the thing about, you know, like talking to the community about even if we progress with the game. Basically, the ideas come from is that there's been a lot of people that have been saying that maybe we shouldn't do a game, and that's what we're asking you guys now. Is this what you want? This is where like the questions come from. If people are wondering why we're asking this, we've had a lot of people in the community come forward and say, you know, our art, we can do so many other things other than a game. So that's why we've been asking this question. That's all, guys. The next person I want to move to the speaker stage is Huey. If you want to accept the request and ask your question, bud.
Hi guys. Please let
Hey,
me know
mate.
if I start cutting out as well, because my internet's also been a bit shit. The UK is
No, crystal clear over there. Nice one.
sad. So yeah, I mean, honestly, really excited about the project. I ended up investing pretty hard into it just because I think the artwork is fantastic and I like the idea of the game. The long-term prospects, you know, you mentioned that the floor's not done amazing. I don't think there's any particular reason to be worried about it, but do you guys have any ideas in the short to mid-term about how you might like to drive some more value and utility into the NFTs? I know you mentioned tokenization and such. What are your thoughts behind the short to mid-term?
Sure. I mean, obviously, it's the buzzword of the month is, you know, staking and providing rewards and providing a token. And you know, that's definitely something we can look into. There is there are pitfalls to it. You know, without actually having that. You know, for example, with the Kongs, which is, you know, which really set the trend, and is amazing project. They have their banana token, but with those banana tokens, you can, you know, a certain amount of banana tokens, you can mint one of the baby Kongs. And there are other things you can do with these banana tokens, and that adds value to them, which, you know, translates into people trading them privately for money. And it, you know, so you have to have other things that you can do with that token on in your ecosystem that will add value to that. So yes, we could totally, you know, look into that, and we could, you know, divert our attention to maybe creating other characters that you can mint. Someone suggested animals in the last AMA, which would be kind of cool, cyber animals and stuff, like cyber pets, that, you know, like dogs and stuff like that, which I think would be kind of sweet. So we could certainly go down that route instead. I think all I would say and all I would caution is that you know, you don't want to fall into the habit, kind of the trap of trying to do too many things and then not doing anything, you know, really well. So that would be the only thing, but it's certainly something that, you know, we could get artists on and we could get thinking about and start the process on, and that would, you know, allow us to launch tokenomics before the game that, you know, could translate into something, you know, valuable for everyone. But obviously you want to, you know, you need to be mindful of these things when it comes to like SEC compliance and securities. We would not at any stage be able to, you know, be telling people that it would bring them a passive income or bring them money, because that would be, you know, we could go the way of Turtle DAO and get delisted from OpenSea, for example. So yes, it's totally an option, and it's something that you have to be very careful and very you know, you need to make sure that there's utility for the token from day one to create value for that token. So Yeah, it's not as simple as just, and sure, projects sell out by offering, staking and all that, and let's see how they do. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. Some will do great, some will just, won't do as well. So yeah, it's an option. It's an option, and I think, I for one will vote for the game, but I think we should have a vote for. But like we can have some options, and we can engage the community in picking, coming up with some ideas and have some ourselves, and we can have a vote and then just get cracking. We are some way into developing the game, so it's it wouldn't be as long and delayed as as people might think. It could be quite snappy, but equally, if you guys want us to go on a different route, then 100%.
Thank you. And just another quick question: do you have any plans for collaborations or airdrops or anything along those lines?
I mean, again, we definitely get DMs, by projects, on a daily basis that want to collab with us, and we certainly, we welcome all collabs, but we want to make sure that the collabs they work for us as a community, and they're not just like random things. So that's one thing. As far as airdrops go, again, we could certainly create an artificial pump. I prefer to do something if we're gonna, do something like a second collection, that goes to the community. I prefer to do something like the staking type thing and add that as something there where you earn a token and then you can use it to a certain amount of them to create one of these second collections. I think that's a better way to make your NFTs more valuable than just dropping everyone a thing that they may or may not want, that might artificially pump the price, for a week or so, and then drop it back down. I mean, look at Dogepound, for example, which is doing really well now, but they had an incredibly great run up to their little Dogepound puppies, and then that price went from like 2.6 ETH down to 0.7 or something, like overnight, the minute people have minted their puppies. So those things are sort of like, and they can be quite, they can look great, but they can be quite artificial. So we'd rather tie in another collection with some other aspect of things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more like the Kennel Club or MAYC route as opposed to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like Cyberkongs, do exactly what Cyberkongs have done, and throw a lot in with that side of things. That would be, I mean, it would create more money for marketing as well, and it would, who knows what the game could do, and who knows where that could go, and who knows what sort of value that could add to your NFT. So I suppose it's just an idea of balancing the options really and voting as a community.
Cool. Thank you. That's
sweet.
That's great.
Nice one. Cheers, mate. All right. And I don't know if Exo, if you've got to nip off, because I know you've got lots of family shit on, but I don't know if am I able to pick people that've got their hands up? Exo, mate, are you there? No, so Exo's not here, right? So I need to now work out how to do that. Oh, here we go. I got it. I got a request to speak. Okay, it's all good, man. If you need to sort out your family and you're breaking up as well, I'll just take on. I can take over and take on NFT Girl. You are up next. Clicking you in. Did that work? I think yeah. There you go. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Can hear you perfectly. Yes.
Awesome. First of all, I want to guys tell you thank you. I know how much work you've done, and you work really hard. So thank you for this project, and thank you for this beautiful art.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I do have the first is like suggestion, and the second is a question. So my experience with this project was interesting. I minted, and then I minted 2 male characters. So I sold it and then repurchased back to a female, and I really like it. So I posted yesterday. I posted 2 of my females on Twitter, and it was amazing. Like as soon as you see the Dark Horizon NFT on the Twitter, it's just nothing else is actually looking even close to comparison with our NFT. So it's very, very powerful. It's pretty aggressive, and it is pretty powerful. So
Thank you.
I'm a bigger believer in marketing. So I think we need to develop some strategies of how we're gonna market it, because as soon as if we can all owners start posting Dark Horizon, like we're gonna break the Twitter, I'll tell you. We just need to develop strategies of who is following who, and from other projects, like if you're gonna guys start all following us and then start retweeting our tweets, we can. It has to be methodically thoughts, and create some strategies, and we, like I tell you, like it's very, very powerful. I've got so many likes on my lady, and she was not even rare.
No, exactly. And we wanted to make everyone, even regardless of rarity, we want to make everyone like super powerful. And we really did put the extra time into the artwork. And not other projects put time into other things, but we really went to town on the artwork and the community, because we think they're the most important things. So I think you're 100% right. I think Twitter raids are one of the strongest marketing methods. We could invest some of the money in getting an influencer, and I've seen it time and time again. They release a video and it pumps the price, and then often it pumps and then dumps, and it's not really that strong. Something like a Twitter raid is really good, and just something like a really strong and active community, which you guys are. So I think I think that's a great idea, and I think we need to coordinate with that with giveaways and stuff for the Twitter raids, and reward our community for doing that for us, because we'd rather give back to you guys than as I say, pay some influencer who the whole thing's kind of murky and a bit grimy. We'd rather reward you guys instead. So I think that's great. I totally agree with that, and I think that's something we should get on literally yesterday, like as soon as possible, and start these things going. Because even like these D-list competitions, then I don't really agree with them. I don't think it's as I don't think it's as a very strong thing. I think it's better to just engage positively with the project, and as you say, share the artwork and get people talking about us. So yeah, cool, really nice.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Cool. So another thing is what we can do, like this is, I think it will really, if you will look at the Jungle Freaks, what they've done, so they putting themselves everywhere. So I think we should probably start putting presence everywhere, like Instagram and even YouTube and Facebook, because eventually Facebook will probably gonna have their marketplace for NFTs too. So I think the sooner we will establish the presence there, the better it's going to be for the long term. And another suggestion is, I know, guys, I understand that you're from UK. I am from Canada, but I'm originally from the Ukraine. So there's a lot of people in this project in a different time zone. So I think this is what a lot of projects are missing. You have to overlap every single time zone, and there should not be silence. There should not be silence. I think every hour you have to do some kind of communication, some kind of little bit announcement. This is how I see the success.
Sure, no, 100%. And we because we are mostly based in the UK, or sort of around Europe and stuff. I'm actually in Canada right now, as it would happen. But so we certainly need to create a really strong community of people that in sort of zones that we don't have as much coverage, to help us on this quest for sure. So we'll get to work on that immediately.
And my second question is about Coinbase. Are you guys recently working and thinking to list yourself on Coinbase, because it's coming, and I really would like to see this project to be one of the first who will be listed on Coinbase.
Yeah, we've actually already started on that. So great. Yes, we're already started reaching out to reaching out to them, and sometimes it's not as easy as it's just like trying to get in contact with OpenSea sometimes. I feel like Coinbase will be big, and we definitely should be there from the start for that one, for sure.
Awesome, thank you.
No, thank you. Brilliant. Right, let's get back to, let's see, who have we got next? So, Black Cat Messiah, you are up. Thank you very much, NFT Girl. I don't know how to kick you off. Move to audience. There we go. Sorry, there you go. Sorry about that. There we go. And now Black Cat Messiah. Welcome, I think. Invite to speak. There we go. Black Cat Messiah, are you there? I think I've invited you in. You have to accept it, my friend. Yeah, if maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and invite Yostari to ask a question. I have sent you a request, Yostari. Oh, we've got both of you up there. Well, you both stay up there, and then we'll do Black Cat first, and then Yostari afterwards. There you go. What a collection of PFPs we are here.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Hello, mate. Yes.
So I'm all for the marketing and the Twitter raids and all that kind of stuff, but I'm curious if you guys can give us a little bit more backstory and some more meat on the website. For example, if we had
it's already happening.
If we had some context of how our characters play off each other, like the strengths and the skills, and how we might be able to price our NFTs because of either their rarity or their skill set, and how that might impact the game down the line.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like, should we, are elites really coveted, or are people in Black Ops coveted? You mentioned before that the community might be able to embellish on the story. So, for example, I have 18 or 19 NFTs. If I could create a story where, like, I have a mercenary group or what have you, and then flesh that out on my own blog, for example, that might be exciting to people. But also, could you give some context as to whether the characters are just people in a world or in multiple worlds, or are there such a thing as normal citizens and these people are like in the shadows? Can you give us any kind of background about that kind of lore?
Yeah, 100%. We've certainly been developing the lore in the Discord up until launch. I will say that we very much see, and we've very much been open to letting the community sort of help shape it. As far as we're concerned, you guys have bought into the Resistance, and that is kind of an underground organization of people dedicated to overthrowing the elite, who control everyone through technology, and that brings them profit and success. And so, unfortunately, prior to launch, the Resistance was infiltrated by the Hunters, and those are, I think, roughly 50 or maybe 48, kind of robots and specific kind of non-human hunters. So you guys very much are the Resistance, and I, for one, have a Resistance fighter and Resistance fighters, and I'm very happy with being in the Resistance, and I think that's great. As far as the sort of the lore thing goes, I think that would be great if you created lore around your specific fighters. And that's not to say that people with fewer NFTs should not also create these things. And I think 100% feel like we could develop the ones that the community like the most on these sort of lore stories. You suggested putting something together on your blog, but if you shared that in a competition, we'd be more than willing to potentially explore the idea of creating comics or something like that. I would be hesitant over. I know people have just suggested like an animated series. That is a lot of work. That is an awful lot of work, and a lot of that's quite expensive to put together. I mean, you only have to look at Stoner Cats, who had, who raised a lot of money and have a lot of big people behind them, and they haven't even released a second episode yet. So that is an awful, very time consuming and really, really cool thing to do. But comics instead would be something that could be a lot more short term, could be delivered quicker, and would be really, really cool to see. So I'd definitely invite. I think I didn't even consider the idea of people with multiple resistance fighters working on a story that involves all of them. I think that'd be really cool. And I don't know if that answers your question about the actual sort of the world that we envisage. And certainly we're open to developing it more and changing things. We saw the Elite as a collection that might come later in the day, especially like after a game has been launched. That was our thinking. What else did you say? Skills, how skills interact, especially your main thing was about the website, which is currently being updated. I've just seen some of the artwork that's being done for it, and we will actually do a little sneak peek drop of some of the artwork for you guys today or tomorrow. And hang on to the end of this AMA as well. Stick around if you can, because I will do some random giveaways of some of our NFTs as well for you guise. So yeah, just be random. I think someone complained last time that I picked someone or picked myself. I don't think I did. If I did, I'm sorry, but that wasn't intentional. I don't think I did. I just scrolled down the list and just picked the cool, funny sounding names. So we'll do the same thing again this time. But yeah, the website is being worked on, and we want to have a lot more information on there for you. But also, with this slight question mark from some of the community about doing a game, we also need to firm out what we're working on so that we can present it properly on the website. There'd be no point, agreeing or not agreeing to do the game, and then we'd have to change the website. So we're working on it in the background and getting the sort of meat and bones together, and we're definitely going to have something where you can look up intel on your fighters. And although we haven't been as engaged as people would like on the thing, I've for one been going through both the holders and the main chat just to see what people are suggesting. And one holder did this amazing sort of like thing of all the stats and all of this, which we'd love to integrate into the website. So we're actually already working on that. So although sometimes we're not talking and engaging, we are, I do dip into it as much as I can. I just taking meetings with new game devs. I'm sort of working out the website thing with things. We're also talking to the artists about other things as well to do with website art and game art and stuff like that. So we are a thing, but we take on board that we should be more present in the community, not just kind of like an overlord just watching over. So agreed.
Can you address the concept of, do people need a 3-man team, and the special skills that are in the bios, do those come into play in terms of playing off of that 3-man team concept?
Yeah, so I don't think we've ever specified a 3-man team. I mean, it's something that we can certainly look at, and it would be potentially a way to to do something about that floor price. Adding some benefit to someone that holds 3 or more of our fighters could certainly be a nice novel way to sort of improve the floor price and get people buying and engaging and real holders, not just people that are there to flip and disappear. That's what we're really passionate about, the people that buy into a project and want to help and stick around for the medium term. As far as the skills we saw as having relevance, and the stats we saw as having relevance in the game. If we don't go forward with the game, we'd have to all collectively think about how those would contribute to something else that we were doing. But I mean, I can see certainly some crossover if we were doing something like a comic or something like that. for sure. So yeah,
Yeah,
but we've made sure that rare. Sorry, after you.
Yeah, I was just making like for example, well, a lot of this came from the screenshot that was shared. Like for example, if I had a Black Ops person and an explosives person and a mechanic, and our mission was to go steal a ship, that might be relevant. But if that's not something that we're thinking about, and it's just a matter of you know, whatever the game is going to be in the future, and that's not defined yet, maybe we should work on defining that.
For sure. I mean, the descriptions that we did, which were generated, and that's quite pioneering. That's not been done before. That was very much a way of making everyone's backstories unique. So we definitely want to evolve that going forward. It would be a shame to have just been a cool thing to do. We want to make sure that it actually has utility in our ecosystem. And so we will think. I think one thing we were conscious of was not allowing too much to affect rarity and rarity tools ranking. So we very much favored the visual aspects rather than stats and skills and backstory for rarity tools, because we wouldn't want to risk confusing people and people selling off because they have a slightly lower ranked soldier, which would not, it may give us, if we with hopefully we go along with the game, so it would probably have a slight benefit, but it wouldn't be the be all and end all for sure.
Thank you so much.
Sweet. No worries, mate. Pleasure. Let's see. Right, and we've got any. Oh no, wait. So you're Starry, my friend. You are welcome to ask a question, and thank you very much, Black Cat.
Oh, hey guys. Yeah, so something I was thinking was maybe come up with something to create a little bit of interest and intrigue in what the game will eventually be, and help in developing the game, like maybe create some kind of space where, I don't know if we'd necessarily be staking our NFTs, but you create something like hideouts or safe houses, or just kind of these spaces, and then instead of just doing some generic drop, maybe randomly, like a certain number of players can be in a certain hideout, and you kind of create some storyline. So something that isn't like a full-on game, but a precursor to a game that isn't as like graphically intensive. Like maybe it's just one really, really cool image, of the hideout, or it's like one hideout might be a bar, or just because I love this idea of this intrigue of sort of this this underground group of people, going against the elites. So just sort of something to develop the storyline and get people engaged. Because I think the real important thing, especially now in the NFT space with all the tech that's getting integrated into it, it's got to be something entertaining. That's really where the value is. And just doing some random drop, you see it with every NFT. They do a drop, and then there's a sell-off. There's a buy-up to the drop, and then a sell-off. And really, if you create something that's engaging, and maybe it doesn't have to be a 1-1 NFT. Maybe, there's something like we're in a hideout, and you kind of create some very passive gameplay, like it's not that intensive, and then everyone in the hideout, or a random person in the hideout, finds out some information or a weapon, or some kind of device or something to that degree, and that's what the drop is. So just kind of a suggestion of something sort of simple from a, hopefully programmatically, but really kind of an interlude into what the game's eventually going to be.
I think that's actually a really, really cool idea. And you've already got me thinking about the way that we can record, not record, of course not. It's not a surveillance state. We can reward people for joining hideouts and stuff like that. So I love that idea, your story. And I probably will drop you a DM later on, and we can discuss that some more, because I think that's a really, really promising lead. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, mate. Right. Cheers to you. And do we have anyone else? We don't have anyone else. We're looking for questions actively. Let's see. We got another one. Nice one. Noob, come on up. Hello, mate.
Hey, thanks.
Hey.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to the AMA so far. It's really I'm really excited about what's been discussed so far. I just had some, I guess, some suggestions, stroke questions, if I may. So there's a lot being discussed so far, and I was wondering, how big is your team? It feels like you're doing a lot of stuff, and is the team big enough, or do we need to expand? And what kind of funds you have for that? Because some of the ideas, just listening to other people, it feels like having one person dedicated for marketing who's got some experience in the NFT space would be great, even if it's part-time. And maybe even like hiring a sort of script writer to develop characters. You know, it's almost like you. So I was really interested in the backstory. You know, like the description, and it's unique. And as you said, you've put in a lot of time in there. And I love the idea of game development as a long-term strategy if the community wants it. And I think what we're sort of talking about is how do we bridge this gap from now to the game development. And I think the gentleman who was talking about sort of, you know, these hideouts and things like that, that could be part of that overall development, so that we continue to move towards our goal within, which is a year down the line or whatever, and developing and keep the motion and engagement within the community and excitement. So, you know, a couple of things just stand out for me is like, having someone dedicated for marketing, and someone
Agreed.
of even like hiring a script writer who's taking all the stuff that you've done and then evolves it in a way that we're moving towards a game, but it's like it's focused. And I wonder what
For sure.
about that.
So I agree with you 100% on a lot of this. I disagree with you on the script writer. I actually have a background in film, and I'd say the community just give them the option of creating lore for their characters, and they will go insane. I've never been more impressed than I have by this community, by watching them discuss concepts and stuff like that. So I feel like you guys can creatively nail kind of your characters' backstories and stuff. That's not a cop out. We can certainly get someone, but I genuinely feel like you guys would fucking destroy any screenwriter that we brought on that wasn't part of this community. We have a head of marketing. We also have been using a marketing company up until launch. They were a bit wishy-washy, not going to lie. Some promises they did not really follow through on, and I feel like that's definitely something we need to maybe rehire for, or bring more people onto. I think it's marketing is quite an intense thing, and we definitely don't want to lose the sort of the hype and lose getting talked about, and everything like that. So I fully agree with you. As far as the team itself go, I know it just seems like me talking. It's just really bad timing, clearly, for everyone else. But I'm glad that I'm here to be able to talk to you. And Exo, unfortunately, he's got some stuff going on with his family, so he's a bit out of it, and birthdays and all this other jazz. Core team is 6 of us, and that's not including the artists. And there are kind of 2 to 3 main artists that have worked on the project. Which is not including myself. I've also done some art direction, some art for this project. And then aside from that, we obviously, would not be developing the game in-house. So we were working with one company. We still are working with them, but we are now talking to others as well, because we want to make sure that this is done properly, and everything that is done is original. Which I never thought I'd have to say, but now it's a concern, and we owe it to you guys to make sure that we do this 100% properly, and we're not fucking laughing stock like these game screens, which still gets me annoyed. So yeah, we're pretty big, and I think we need to obviously make some more kind of kind of roles from the community or otherwise, other hires to really push this forward. Because it is like an army, and you guys are our resistance, and we are your leaders, and we are Team HQ. But we need to promote people and really get this operation going, so that the army can perform efficient Twitter raids and whatever else. So yeah, I fully agree with you on that side of things.
Cool, thank you for that. Yeah, I think the screenwriting is probably my projection of my own handicap than anything else.
Yeah.
But,
no, I understand.
Yeah, but other than that, I think if you look, we talked about floor, etc. There's only a few hundred, NFTs there. There are sort of listed below 0.1 or something like that. I think a little bit of, not saying hype, creating hype, but like some motion and excitement. And
Exactly.
I think we'll just be on our way. So thank you again.
Exactly.
For giving me time.
No, that's fine. And I think that's it. That's the way to do this, is to just do cool things with this project and publicize it and get everyone talking about us. And that is the coolest, most organic way to get this back on track, because believe me, the amount of sleepless nights and effort we put into this artwork and creating this world, and the money we invested in already in the game and all of this other stuff, like we really believed in this project, and we genuinely wanted it to be like a contender. And that's partly why what motivated our switch to ETH from Solana, is because we wanted this to be something that people talked about, like an ON1, like something with real legs, to reward you guys. So it's fucking miserable that it had so many things that that fucked it on launch day. It really is. So I hold my hand up. It was a dark day for us, trying to get hold of OpenSea and getting them to do something, considering their anyway. So yeah, we're working on it, and I feel like that was a shame, but it's not gonna dent our enthusiasm for this project and what we think it can be. And that's based on the fact that we've got a really strong community, and we're growing. We're gaining members all the time at the Discord. So we're getting there, guys. So we're still moving in the right direction, but we definitely need to make a decision soon on game, and if so, and also on other ways, as you say, as people, some really great ideas coming in about especially from Ustari, from yourself as well, like about adding value in the short term to people that maybe hold more than one, or just people that are kind of quasi staking their NFT to get some sort of reward. So yeah, let's this is the great thing about an AMA. It's you guys are asking us questions and stuff, but you're also sort of inspiring us and getting us thinking about other ways to do things. So these things are super valuable for us, and I'm glad we had it sooner rather than later, even though most of the team aren't around, or are just listening in because they're driving or birthdays and stuff. So yeah, this is super cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm talking a lot, and we've got 3 questions, so I'm gonna kick you off, Noob. Thank you very much. And Came to Fuck is up next. I hope that's not what you came to do on this AMA. Hello, mate. Are you there? Maybe that will. Hello? Well, whilst you work out your microphone, my friend, I'm going to add OX RAM on. There we go. OX RAM, you have to accept this request. Have you accepted? Yes. Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate. Hello there.
Great. It's going to be a quick question.
No worries.
Basically, it's just an opinion, but I'm just kind of worried about making a game, because, first of all, making a good game is really hard. And I haven't seen any good video game in the crypto space, really. That's just a personal opinion. And now with the new, that Steam is not allowing any crypto games. It's just kind of getting complicated. So my question is, how much experience do you guys have in developing a video game? Like, do you have any technical expertise, or
Yeah,
because
no, I understand what you're saying.
a big part is like knowing what to ask for,
For sure.
and if you don't really have that experience, it's going to be almost impossible to actually execute. I'm sorry to say that, but that's a personal opinion.
I understand what you're saying. I think I'll answer this in two sort of like parts. I think just because I'd say I agree with you wholeheartedly that it's certainly it's not nothing to be taken on lightly. But as far as the first thing about saying that no game in the NFT space has been any good so far, that's just an opportunity waiting to happen. Just because no, I mean, we went crazy on the artwork and really wanted to make something different and exceptional in the artwork, and we would pour that sort of passion into creating a game. There are experienced gamers in the team, no one professional, but we have links to people that have been professional gamers. We also obviously have played Axie Infinity and are aware of turn-based games, and moreover, that's why we are hiring. That's why we hire game developers as well. And I understand you need to understand games and game development to be able to know what you're asking for, as with anything really. But equally, working with a quality game development studio, adds to that process and adds value to that, in the sense that they're able to also, they have experience working with clients too. So yes, a game is a big undertaking, and yes, we can't compete with AAA games, and we're not going to try to, because we would just fail. But by making something addictive, easily playable, and play to earn. I was cutting in and out when I was discussing this, but just reading about stuff like Axie Infinity, and how people in developing countries are using that to actually earn more than they would in their daily jobs, and being able to support themselves through playing that is insane. And I wouldn't say that the actual sort of graphics, that element of Axie Infinity was particularly challenging. Obviously, you have to nail the gameplay, and we have models like that, and and like Splinterlands as well, for example, to help inform our decisions. So yes, I'm not going to turn around and say we're going to create the next, next Final Fantasy or something like that, and we'd be naive thinking that that's something we could pull off. But with our community, with our experience, and with a talented game developer, I feel like what we're setting out to achieve is easily possible. And I don't know what you say on that, if you have a different opinion, but yeah.
No, I mean, I get you, but I get that you want to hire a capable and competent or great gaming studio, but from our side, in terms of like, this project is the client, and I think you should have somebody onboarded, or hiring somebody who actually knows how to deal and project manage the whole thing. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, that's certainly a role that we can look to hire. We certainly project managed, the actual NFT project itself. So
yeah,
we're not totally new to this. It's not like we've just been brought on after the project's kind of launched and stuff. So we do have experience in that aspect of things, and in our daily lives as well. But as far as someone that's experienced in working with game developers, we'd more than welcome bringing someone on board, if that's yourself, or if we look to other members in the community, or to a private hire. We'd be more than happy to do that, and I take your point on board.
Cool. I'm not really. I'm more of a web developer, and I understand that part. So I'm just assuming, or I'm pretty sure, that game development has also a lot of challenges, and you need somebody who actually done this before multiple times to actually get like product manage the whole thing and steer it to success. That's all I'm saying.
For sure.
Find somebody.
No. I agree with you. I mean, most of these game dev studios that I've worked with, they will have a central lead that liaises with the client, that manages the project, and then obviously there'll be underneath them there'll be people working on the architecture of the game and the modeling of the characters, and the storyline and all of these different elements and the game economy. So they normally come with their own project manager, and at least that's the case with the one that we currently have and the one that we've been discussing, in talks with as well. So yes, whether or not we need someone on our side that also curates that thing, sure, it's something that we can look to, and also we'd be involving the community in many of the decisions going forward, especially now we have that sort of game development kind of part of the Discord going. We'd also be throwing out questions to the community so they can help us decide on the day-to-day small things that will add up to make a really cool game.
Cool. Thank you very much.
No worries, mate. Thank you very much. Pleasure. Right. Next up, Time to Fuck. We're going to give you one last go, my friend, because you're requesting to speak again. But maybe you just came to fuck up this AMA. Let's add you in. Hello, how are you doing? Hello, my friend. One last time here. How are you doing? No, I think you genuinely did just... Hello? No, you genuinely did just come to fuck. Right. Shrimple. Adding you in, my friend. You need to accept. You need to accept. I'm going to give Pratik a go in a sec. Pratik, adding you as well to the stage. There we go.
Hello, am I audible?
Hello, you are audible.
Perfect. So actually, I had a couple of thoughts over the overall gaming roadmap, and just wanted to get your thoughts on
For
what
sure.
we can probably do in the short term versus long term. So I come from a game development background, sports tech majorly. So I mean, I have a bit of idea of what at least the market trends are. And one thing is
Amazing.
that in the next 12 to 18 months, all the major studios will be cashing in and coming up with their own NFT games. And that is a difficult terrain to kind of master into when you have guys like Ubisoft and different developers on Steam coming up. My question to you is, do you think there should also be a plan which is short term versus long term? So let's say something like, so my thought was something like a card game in the short term, which could be ready in let's say 3 to 4 months, at least a beta with different parts like trading and marketplace. And then you have that initial user base coming up, enjoying the game, having that addictive card game thing going on where you're just imagine an MMR system in the card game, so to speak. So you just rank up the leaderboard, and the higher you are, and all the other game mechanics. I think that would be a very good way to kind of lure more users organically. And obviously, that would have its own benefits as well in terms of whatever in-game rewards we have, all that shit. And potentially, we can use that as a ladder to kind of fund the longer-term game route, so to speak. So I mean, is that something you guys are open to, or you have already planned, or is this something that is not possible?
I think you've basically, for anyone that's just arrived, you've basically summed up what I maybe less eloquently was saying. Phase 1, Phase 2, we want a turn-based Axie Infinity style thing, or like Splinterlands, like a card game sort of thing, like that sort of less intensive when it comes to game development, far simpler, but still enjoyable, and also something which play to earn as well, and get that going and create that fan base in 3 to 4 months, in 2 to 3 months, whatever. Get that out and then expand the world, kind of like, and do something more like Shadowlands, more sort of that has like a bit more of an open world feel to it, where people can maybe you can be fighting someone and then someone else can. I've always wondered about this. Someone else can sort of barge in and fight you instead, or fight both of you, and maybe you have to team up and something like that, just to develop the concept a bit more. But as far as getting something out ASAP, hooking people, and delivering something before the AAA games all sort of come in and, you know, spoil the party. 100%. 100%. I think that's key to any sort of long-term survival for this project, and also to sort of creating more buzz short term and hooking people now. So yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, I mean the artwork. I mean, based on the screenshots that were provided, I know it's just a tentative or a reference, but
Yeah.
I mean, for the artwork to really come about, I think a short-term card game would actually bring up what the actual quality of the art is as compared to the eventual game, obviously.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. I think that's interesting. I think yeah, more like Splinterlands, something like that. I think that's something we could play with for sure. You know, I think it would be something like that, you know, which has been incredibly successful. Splinterlands, you know, or Axie, they've all been successful, and you know, I think that's something we need to go back to other devs and discuss as well. But no, 100%. And I will drop you a DM as well, and I'd love to, you know, pick your brain and get you involved as much as you'd like to be.
Yeah, sure, man.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you
anything
very
to
much.
help. Yeah. Thanks.
Well, that's great. Cheers. No worries. Thank you very much. Okay. So I feel like we've got no new questions unless Come to Fuck is going to come and fuck again one more time. If you think you're going to get an NFT, mate, you are sorely mistaken. I'm now going to just scroll through and just pick because oh no, we've got two more questions. Oh, come on. Okay, guys. Last two questions. Let's do it. So I was just about to pick people. Black Cat, you are coming back in. Please accept. Hello, mate.
Hi,
Again.
can you guys hear me?
Certainly can. Hello there.
Hi. I had a question. I like the idea that somebody mentioned earlier about the hideouts. I was also wondering if we could steal a concept like from Among Us, where people can poison somebody else's NFT or make a double agent. And
I saw that. Yeah,
you sort of have to figure that out.
That
would be unique to our game.
Yeah, that would be really cool actually. So yeah, thank you for dropping in and suggesting that. Yeah, totally.
All right, thank you.
Okay, very cool. Thanks a lot. Okay, Herbal, I'm going to add you in. Hello there. You need to accept. Okay. Can you hear us, Herbal?
Okay, sorry, the accept took very long.
Done. No worries. Hello there.
So I had kind of a couple ideas, maybe blending together. So a series that's really popular, Game of Thrones. I think something that got to a lot of people with that was like the loss of characters, right? They'd get attached to them, and then they'd be gone, and it kind of like always made people think, what's next in the story? So where I'm going with this is the floor price. What I've seen in Solana is with pesky penguins, they have the snowball that sweeps the floor, and it really inspires the Discord. People will delist. They don't want to see penguins lost. So I'm just sort of, if characters are brought into the story from the floor, it may inspire the floor price to come up or just purchases. It's not as artificial, I guess, is where I'm going, and it can sort of inspire the storyline in a similar way, and it may kind of like connect people to what we're doing. So maybe it will actually bring up the floor and kind of pull people back into it. But maybe we actually lose characters that way as well.
Okay,
so
are they just to clarify, because I'm not as familiar with pesky penguins? They with this snowball, are they actually burning these characters when they buy them?
Yeah, they actually burn them. So they use the community wallet will actually buy them, and then the snowball is just a concept, right? They actually buy them with the community wallet, and then they burn them, and they share that back, and they actually have like a graveyard for them where you can go and look and see that it's lost forever. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that.
It is kind of cool, and there's an actual community loss to it as well. So it's something that everyone has to go through together.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. I think I've got a little interesting idea on how we can put all that together. So I think maybe we can get going with that, with something like that. Yeah, I won't reveal any more. You've given me a great idea. So yeah, of combining all of that. So thank you very much. Did you have another suggestion? Did you mention?
No. That was
Oh, that's cool, man. That's more than enough. Thank you very much. So yeah, right, brilliant. Thank you very much, Herbal. I am gonna say I'm gonna announce who is gonna get an NFT. So let's see. Straight away, and I was just about to mention you before we had some more questions come in. Whack Hollywood. If that is you with your little mask, with your face paint on, Jericho thing, I like that. You definitely drop us a DM, drop EXO a DM, or me, and we'll sort you out with an NFT. I'm going to scroll get down. Glam Rogue, also drop us a message. I like your PFP. It's really cool. And then finally, I'm going to pick someone that has one of our NFTs as their PFP. So let's see. Moribundus. I think you are also. Congratulations. You drop me a message, or I'll drop you one. And yeah, you've got an NFT, mate. So thank you very much. And yeah, we'll also get a little kind of write-up of everything that's been suggested here, and I hope this has been recorded as well. I really do. But if not, we'll definitely get a write-up, and then let's plow forward, and just really get this one, capitalize on the huge outstanding community that we've got here and the kind of cool projects and concept. So yeah, fantastic, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Cheers. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.